the situation is very difficult with food and water running out. Shelters massively overcrowded and without fuel, and there's no electricity. Bakeries that are working with us, like only 4 of them are, continue to operate because of shortage of fuel or because of the sustained damage. If you look at the stocks, the food commodities that are inside Gaza, I think the wholesalers and the suppliers do have some stock, less than 2 weeks, but they still do have some stock. But they are unable to supply the shops because of this damaged infrastructure and the inability to move from some areas to the other. So it's quite complicated. But having said that, we are getting to people in shelters sometimes, and this is why also the amount of people, because the daily thing that happens in our operation is the fresh bread. And this is why there is variation. Some days we can reach 100,000 people, another day 170, another day 200,000, another 230,000. It all depends basically on the conditions of the road. Of course, that's an active conflict that's happening. Safety and security of the people moving around to distribute this food, as well as also the safety in the shelters, so that we don't expose people to more dangers than what they are already going through.
The situation in the Middle East is growing more dire by the hour. The war in Gaza is raging and risks spiraling throughout the region. Divisions are splintering societies. Tensions threaten to boil over. At a crucial moment like this, it is vital to be clear on principles, starting with the fundamental principle of respecting and protecting civilians. I am deeply concerned about the clear violations of international humanitarian law that we are witnessing in Gaza. Let me be clear, no party to an armed conflict is above international humanitarian law. It is important to also recognize the attacks by Hamas did not happen in a vacuum. The Palestinian people have been subjected to 56 years of suffocating occupation. They have seen their land steadily devoured by settlements and plagued by violence, their economy stifled, their people displaced, and their homes demolished. Their hopes for a political solution to their plight have been vanishing. But the grievances of the Palestinian people cannot justify the appalling attacks by Hamas, and those appalling attacks cannot justify the collective punishment of the Palestinian people. To ease epic suffering, make the delivery of aid easier and safer, and facilitate the release of hostages, I reiterate my appeal for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. Excellencies, even in this moment of grave and immediate danger, we cannot lose sight of the only realistic foundation for a true peace and stability, a two-state solution. Israelis must see their legitimate needs for security materialized, and Palestinians must see their legitimate aspirations for an independent state realized in line with the United Nations resolution, international laws, and previous agreements.